Ukrainians are on the verge of counter-offensive. In this stream, I will try to talk of why, when, how, and what the possible outcomes are. Howdy everyone, my name is Konstantin. Welcome to Inside Russia. I give you important news updates, explain what's really happening in Russia now. What you will not find on this channel is propaganda, BS and lies. What you will find on this channel is truth, common sense and logic, and some emotions, because I am a human being. Inside Russia is where usual Russia, explained by the unusual Russian. For the first 30 or so minutes, I usually share my message, and then I invite everyone to carry on into a live stream where we converse and I answer questions, and I like that very much. A little hurting today. I nearly dislocated my right shoulder. It's okay. I was in pain yesterday. I had to cancel the stream. Wasn't feeling well at all. Much better, especially after a few pills of American ibuprofen. That helps, you know. So today's stream is called "The Ukrainian Offensive Begins. What do we need to know?" And I will try to share my thoughts on this. First of all, this is not going to be a typical stream today that I do every day. There isn't actually a message for 30 or so minutes. Just information I'd like to share, and then I'll turn on the comments, and as usual, I'm pretty sure there'll be lots of questions, and I'll try to answer all of them. I will tell you some information today about what I know about the counteroffensive, and a couple hours later, 2 hours later, exactly after the end of the stream, I will release a video which is kind of continuation of this stream. In the video, I will take an in-depth look at some areas of Russian life, how those areas are facing, where are they standing on the day before the attack begins. First of all, why am I saying offensive instead of counteroffensive? Well, that's pretty simple. Hang on 1 second. Russia did not do any offensives in the last year. It's basically defending the territories it had conquered, invaded before summer of 2022. And that's why I call it Ukrainian offensive, because Russians have been making very little tiny unsuccessful attempts, micro attempts, I can say, you know, without any success. That's why, to me, it's like offensive. I could be wrong, but I think in the military terms, counteroffensive is if one party, one side is performing an offensive, and another party, you know, performs a very quick counteroffensive. This is not the case. So my hand is fine as long as I don't, like if I start pulling it backwards, then my front deltoids start hurting. But as long as I'm keeping it low in front of me, that's okay. So first things first, you know, what do we need to know of Ukrainian offensive? Number one, there will be one. There will be offensive. And it has already begun. There are numerous sources of information saying that the Ukrainian army has started performing usual tasks before that are done before the offensive begins, any offensive begins. There have been lots of troops and machinery, armor brought close to front lines. There has been limitation on ammo lifted. That's a sure sign offensive will be executed soon. And basically, it's already internal work has already started. What Ukraine is having at this point? First of all, Ukraine has had a lots of help from the West and from all over the world. There are two kinds of help. First, financial help. Second, military help. First, military-wise, Ukraine has received very technological weapons. Weapons very effective, very, very modern weapons. The kind of weapons it didn't have before. Okay. Financially, well, Europe has been helping a lot, and the United States has been helping a lot. Military help mostly came from France, the UK, and the USA, and Germany, 4 countries. And that's major. And then the smaller countries also chipped in. Ukraine has done lots of preparation. For months, it's been mobilizing people, it's been equipping people, it's been teaching people, training people, and getting cutting-edge arms again. Ukraine has done lots of planning because who are helping Ukrainians? Pretty much the rest of the world. The best military experts, they're helping drawing plans. They're helping, probably the best way to say drawing plans. Planning. They do the planning. And, the war, the battle is won before it begins usually. And Ukrainians have done lots of planning. And on top of that, Ukrainians have done lots of informational operations, ops. I'll give you an example. Quite a few months ago, after the decision was made to give Ukraine heavy arms, tanks, Leopards, Abrams, Ukrainians started pumping informational space with information about Ukraine doing a offensive. And it was just pumping and pumping that info, and it was making everyone in Russia nervous. The soldiers, because they get this information. That's probably who that information is aimed at. Regular people, not easy. The Z people definitely was driving them absolutely mad. And propaganda people also, well, they understand, what's happening. The propaganda people are really hard to lie to because they are the creators of lies. So they know what's going on. So they've been very nervous. And then a couple of weeks ago, everything has stopped. Literally, everything has stopped. Okay? Hang on. There's silence. And its silence is making Russian army is even more nervous. Like, now what's going on? Something is up, And this is informational ops, and Ukrainians are doing really, really good job informationally. So it's just, I think it's one of the parts of planning, and you can see that they have planned well. They have planned everything well, like I said. Well, so all in all, the Ukrainians have done real well preparing. And to them, this offensive is hugely important because they're trying to reclaim their land back, So they have prepared. Then Number two, when? When? When will it start happening? Now. It is in the works. The administration of Zaporizhia region, which is Zaporizhia is a province of Ukraine. Now it's divided into two parts. First part is, it's Ukraine as usual. Second part was taken, annexed by Russia, and it's placed its local, it's called military civil administration, with a head of administration reporting to Russia, taking orders from Russia, and puppet people. And they admitted that the offensive is in the works. They know very well because they're right there. They see tanks moving. They see people hiding in the bushes, so to speak, and everywhere there is cover. They know because people go back and forth. People talking. They admitted. Moreover, they started evacuating people, just like before Kherson was left by the Russian army. There was a massive evacuation for a few days. Well, guess what? It started happening in some places like Melitopol and some places in Zaporizhia province. Another sure sign is that the limits of using ammo have been lifted. That usually happens very shortly before. If there are military experts, you please let me know. Perhaps there are other military signs of upcoming offensive. I just don't know. I'm not a big expert on military things. In my picture of the world, it has already started, and this night from May 8th to May 9th, and the following nights and days will be crucial, and that is when Ukraine will try to unleash hell. I think that tomorrow, May 9th, we will be hearing from the front lines. Russian propaganda might go either one of two ways. It might be absolutely silent, or it might be cursing Ukrainians, saying, "Oh, Satanists, we knew they would attack Russia." And this is what their message. They're trying to push the message that Ukraine, if they attacks, performs offenses, then Ukraine will be attacking Russian territory. But wait a second, that's Ukraine. It doesn't matter. They're Satanists, they're Nazis, they're cursed people, that type of thing. So we will hear from the propaganda very, very soon. Tomorrow, I wake up, May 9th, and I bet that, we'll be hearing a lot from the front lines, I guess. In the video that is upcoming in 2 hours, I dived in depth what is happening with the Russian army. Like, how is Russian army prepared? Is it prepared to repel the Ukrainian offensive or not? And it's interesting. I did analysis of what Russian army consists of right now. Okay, so check it out in 2 hours again on this channel. Number 3, Russian government has prepared internally, and it's prepared real well internally for the offensive, but it's prepared lousily for the externally. What do I mean internally and externally? Internally within Russia, inside Russia. Externally outside Russia. So what has Russian government done internally? Well, first of all, it gained much more control over Russian citizens to crush any attempt at opposing government's actions, war, or mobilization. They have done incredibly marvelous job of creating a totalitarian state that's been solidified. Legislation is there, machine of power is there, the vertical of power is there, people are in places, motivated, ready to go, ready to start taking people, you name it. It's all ready. The next thing that the Russian government has done is it has been mobilizing more and more people. Official statistics from the Russian government is that in the first few weeks of 2022, September and October 2022, it mobilized all men necessary, 350 or so. But then when reporters asked Putin, are you going to issue another decree? Because he had issued a presidential decree on mobilization, mobilizing 350,000 people. And then he said, okay, it's over. Then reporters asked him, are you going to issue another decree ending the mobilization and sign it? And he said, well, no, I won't. There's no need in that. Because I already said, I promised everyone, something like that. And then, promised many things. But anyway, that gave a legal right to continue mobilization. Because, hey, if it was over, really, truly over, then he would have signed that decree saying the mobilization over. Because that mobilization decree is not, the executive order is not a good document, trust me. That's costing him. So he never signed anything stopping the mobilization. So therefore, it slowed down in late November, December, and early January. But then it picked up in January, on January 17th, just as I had predicted in the streams. Ministry of Defense issued a new strategy to increase the number of armed forces in general, okay? And summons have been issued many, many times to many Russians. How do I know? Well, first of all, I read, I listen, I analyze, and second, there are so many people around me, and there are 450 people just in the International Tashkent Breakfast Club, okay? And then people show up for breakfasts and for gatherings quite regularly. And I know some more people besides my group, okay? So not one single week passes that there are news of someone's relative, someone's brother, someone's, not son, because sons have been evacuated to Tashkent, but some colleague, some friend, some distant relative was mobilized. 2 to 3 messages every single week. So mobilization is happening. Make no mistake about that. And now they made mobilization even easier. All they have to do is they have to put you onto a certain register, their internal register, and then in 20 days, your driver's license will be revoked. Anyway, it's canceled. Then you won't be able to do business, you won't be able to use your bank accounts, you won't be able to sell or buy real estate, and so forth. So they made this thing deadly, really deadly. So the Russian government has done real well, brilliantly, inside Russia, okay? Is it ready for a total war? No, but it's ready for total mobilization. If it needs more men, it can mobilize up to, I don't know, a few million probably. There are rumors that Sergei Shoigu is a big fan of total mobilization, and he brags that up to 25 million people can be mobilized in Russia, which is kind of true because Russia has lots of people, many more people than Ukraine. Six times more people. Okay, Ukraine has around 30, 25, 30. Russia about 145, something like that. From 4 to 5 people. Did I do the math right? It's time to take a break. So 5 people, 5 times as many people. Um, Besides that, Russian government hasn't done much anything else. It has not prepared externally, meaning it did not achieve any diplomatical victories. It had a failure with China. It had a failure with India. It had a failure, well, not a failure, but disaster with everything else around the world. No one is supporting Russia at this time. There are 5 or 6 countries that abstain when there's a worldwide vote in the United Nations against Russian aggression, and everyone else goes against it. So Russia does not have any friends. And the propaganda trying to sell us the idea that Chinese and the Indians are friends of Russia. But I mean, you gotta be absolutely dumb as this table to believe that. Talk. So another thing, Russian economy has been put onto war tracks. That Russian government has successfully achieved. But the thing here is, we don't know what is really going on in the military industrial complex. What kind of spendings, what they're producing, what is the output and so forth. Because guess what? Everything has been made confidential. Remember, I just told you that Russian government has laid the legal foundation for taking over more control. And withdrawing information from public, making it confidential and secret, is one of types of control. So Russian government has done a marvelous job of that. We don't know, but we certainly know that Russian government now spends over 50% more for war things, military things, than it did, let's say, 1 year ago or 2 years ago. And we also know that Russian revenue has shrunk by 25%. And all budget has one goal right now: to service the war economy. It hasn't been officially announced, but any economist that who looks at Russian economy is actually basically it's a no-brainer. I think it's safe to say that Russian economy is going to hell real fast. And I will speak on the economy tomorrow in my tomorrow stream because there are new numbers out. Basically, I'm going to be telling you how fast it's going to hell economically. Now let me make you an analogy. This is imagine this. Imagine that you have a job and everything is normal, and all of a sudden you lose a job and you gamble lots of things away, and there's mafia after you. And it gets serious. And you have nothing else. You've been declined by cops, by your family, by your friends. No one wants to help you out. And you can rely only on yourself. What do? Well, you get out and you hire mercenaries, bodyguards, as many as possible. And you buy them equipment. And you train yourself. And you train them. And, you go from place to place hiding from mafia. But you know for sure that if they get you, you're done, you're dead. And you don't care what's going to happen to your credit, what's going to happen to your, real estate. You have a few credit cards and you spend everything, and you don't even care how much, like how you're going to pay next month or month after that, how you're going to come up with payments. Because at this point, there's existential threat to you, and you just don't care about anything else. And I have a feeling this is how Russian government is acting. But Ukrainians are not mafia, okay? Ukrainians are the victims. And the Russian government is acting like mafia. So if it's not, if it doesn't win, it's dead. And actually, to prove my point, Dmitry Peskov not too long ago openly, publicly commented. He said, um, we cannot live without victory, so there'll be victory. And a lot of people, most Russians, they took it metaphorically. They thought it was a metaphor. But I think he actually literally meant that he knows that without victory, everyone around Putin, including himself, will die. Okay, physically die. So that's what he said. Then number 6, world attitude. Everyone is awaiting and expecting Ukraine to perform a successful offensive. And everyone is expecting Russia to back off, to leave Ukraine, and to lose. Okay, everyone is expecting for fairness to come back in this issue. The whole world is, again, backing up Ukraine, and Russia, it does not have any friends anymore. Peskov is absolutely right. If Russia doesn't win, then very few people, they will die. And I don't think that Russia wins. I think the people will die. How Ukraine is going to execute the offensive? Way back in the summer of 2022, I was making a stream and I said, I quote myself, I said, every day that passes by, Russia becomes weaker, but Ukraine becomes stronger. And I was absolutely right, 100%. And now we're seeing this picture where Ukraine is so much stronger than it was back then, and Russia is so much weaker. Russia does not have to offer nothing but people. Sure, Russian government did mobilize quite a few people. According to official data, it's 350,000, but rumors have it many more, okay? Rumors have it there have been casualties. Russian casualties have been absolutely enormous. But again, they're rumors. I don't know how to prove them. Russia has people, lots of people, and potentially lots of people. Now it can mobilize people much more effectively, okay, since it has all kinds of laws. But people that are mobilized and serving in the trenches, their morale is not high, and they're not big fighters, they're not military men. They don't have any experience. They don't have the desire. Nothing. Ukraine has everything else. Ukrainians are fighting for their country. Their morale is all-time high. They have latest equipment. They have military experts backing them, planning with them, explaining, teaching, training them. You name it. So I think it's going to be a very effective offensive. And the last question I'd like to talk about today is what will happen? At this point, we don't know, but there are a couple scenarios. It is clear at this point that Ukrainian army is superior. It's actually hard to believe because strong army was a backbone of Russian ideology before the war. Russians had been sold this picture of army number 2 in the world, Russian, after American army, of course. Russians believed that army was absolutely professional, strong, effective, quick, deadly, you name it. And now, I mean, any sane person understands that Russian army in the last 14 months have not only not shown everything, it's basically it. I don't know the word to. I don't even know where to start. It fled. It only took the territories of Ukraine because Ukrainians did not expect Russians to attack. Russians were fast. But then look what has happened since summer, since July of 2022. Kherson, Kharkov, Bakhmut, they've been trying to capture Bakhmut, this small town, for the past 12 months. And they have not succeeded. I mean, give me a break. It just shows you what kind of army Russia has. So, Ukrainian army is superior, but Russia has many more people. If Russia, Ukrainian offensive is effective and it throws Russia back into the borders to, into the territory of Russia, then there's one of two things: whether Putin will be able to sell it to Russian people and they will buy it, or he won't. They won't buy it. If they will not buy it, there will be many questions to Putin, and one of the private armies in existence will turn against him, and it's not going to be a good end for him. But somehow, if he somehow sells the idea that Russian army is still victorious by leaving Ukraine, and that is possible because now I think in Russia, possible is anything. Okay, Russian propaganda will turn around and start screaming, "Oh, we are so great. We left. We needed to leave, because we got rid of all the Satanists in Ukraine, or we got rid of, all the Nazis or something like that. It's a huge victory." I don't really know how they can do that because according to Russian government, those parts of Ukraine are now Russia. Okay, and then it's in the constitution of Russia that no one can take part of Russia and conquer it, or Russia cannot give up its territories. So I don't know how they'll sell it, but they will be selling it, okay, at the end. One scenario that I'm afraid of is the nuclear plant. If this person is in the corner and he's like a bleeding animal, he can try anything, including blowing up a nuclear plant. This is the scenario I don't want to discuss and I don't want to think about even, but possible as anything, like I said. There is another scenario that as soon as the Russian army will start withdrawing and going back into Russia, there'll be questions to Putin from the elites, and then things might change in the Russian government, But again, I don't know what'll happen. I don't know. We will learn very, very soon, within days, because mark my words, offensive starts tomorrow. Hasn't been released, hasn't been official, hasn't been any news about that, but I have a gut feeling. Something tells me. That's all the information I wanted to share, and I'm sure there will be questions. I'm ready to answer them. I was thinking this, I appreciate everyone for, especially the mods, Lorna and Mommy. While I was in Russia, I could not speak freely of things happening in Russia and in Ukraine. And I asked everyone not to speak of the war whatsoever and read between the lines of my messages. And boy, was I trying to send messages, between the lines, really. Um, things have changed. I'm calling things as they are. I'm calling war war. I do not speak between. I do not ask you to read between the lines anymore because I feel much more free than in Russia. Um, and to be honest with you, things changed in Russia too. Now everyone is calling war. Now people discuss situation in Ukraine, and even propaganda discusses it. And sometimes it just cannot hide the losses and the failures of Russian army, and it just sometimes criticizes it. So things changed a little bit in Russia. It's just they're so bad if you don't say at least something about them, you'd be considered absolutely nuts. Okay. So I am very thankful to Lorna and Mommy for moderating with at crazy fast speeds and getting rid of the messages about war in Ukraine. And Mommy Lorna, you know exactly what I mean. And I appreciate everyone, you know, reading between the lines. I am so relieved and so glad that here in Tashkent I don't have to send messages between the lines. So thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I would like to turn the comments on. Probably will be questions about my hand and my shoulder. My hand is fine. My shoulder is this part right here. Front deltoid muscle has been sprained, I think. What happens was basically in the private live stream on Saturday, I showed my new, my present tennis racket and my shoes that I bought specifically for tennis with bright orange sole. And I wore them. They're very comfortable. But these shoes, tennis shoes, are designed specifically for playing tennis on clay, on earth tennis courts. And I wore them, and I was walking in the park on grass, and it turns out they're super slippery. And there was a little slope. I was going down, and my feet just boom went out, and I fell on my back, and I extended. You know, it was a reflex. I extended my hand like this to kind of soften the fall, and I guess that's what did my shoulder. I put all my weight on my elbow and on my hand, and ooh. So when I extend my arm forward, everything is fine. But as soon as I start, like, going backwards like this, this pain is right here. So, but it's not a big deal. Happens. Not the worst thing. Thank goodness I didn't break anything. I didn't torn ligaments or anything like that. So I'm happy. I'm not. No complaints here. I gained lots of wisdom. Can't play tennis at least for a week, and then we'll see. So, Mommy Lorna, Harry Potter is here. Black Cat, howdy, howdy. Bob S. and Prince Amir, they're with us in our hearts. And the usual suspects, hello, friends. Remember, if you want me to notice your comments or questions easier, would you please put them in caps, so they kind of jump into my eyes. And please put inside Russia after @ so it's highlighted in orange, black, big orange box. Thank you so much. Just like Harry Potter did, saying hello inside Russia. Hello, Harry. Sam K, howdy. Paula W, Amanda. Hey, hello from 74 Stormy, Ohio. Hope your shoulder feels better soon. Well, it's feeling better than yesterday. Not well yesterday, but ibuprofen helps too. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you. Great to see you. Mr. Kaliskin from Chicago. Dirk. SF Joe, howdy. Jeffrey S, of course. You're calling spade a spade. Roy Cousins, Sophie, Janice Burgess, Julie W, Sean Beasy. Congratulations on your new freedom of speech. Well, not 100%, if you know what I mean. Please read between the lines, because Uzbekistan is not. Well, at least I can speak freely of Russia and Uzbekistan. That's another time you read between the lines. Calvin says, I trust your gut, my friend. Thank you. Thank you. We'll see. We'll see tomorrow. In Russia, we say, затишье перед бурей. Before a huge storm hits, it gets all quiet, windless, and you just stand there and nothing is happening around you. Not any single leaf on the tree trembles, because there's no wind. And it stays like that for a little bit, and then a huge storm comes. Boom. So that's what I feel like it is right now. Those moments before the storm hits. Michael Yukon, thank you so much for coming. As retired military, I watch the tactical situation as well as possible. My concern is the evacuation around the nuclear plant. As I have to ask why, the answer is scary. I hope I'm wrong. Stay strong. Michael, this is what I said. One of the scenarios scares me, and I'm thinking what you're thinking too. I hope I'm wrong. Oh boy, I pray I'm wrong, Crusader Damien, howdy. Ukraine is on the counteroffensive by definition. Russia committed the offense of an illegal invasion of sovereign Ukraine land. Russia has not conquered but invaded. Okay, taken. But I explain why I say counteroffensive by definition. All right, point taken. Thank you. It's hard. Impossible to disagree with you here, White Lightning 777, thank you. Hello. My city, Baltimore, is on Russia target list for nukes along with DC and New York. I refuse to be intimidated. Supporting Ukraine is the moral choice. Epicenter is half kilometer from my home. I tell you what, I don't believe those lists, target lists, they existed and they still exist probably. Most likely, they still exist, yes. Now, they're probably a little different than at the times of the USSR. I don't know anything of today's lists, but I saw the lists of the Soviet times. The thing is, the same kind of lists, they exist in the United States for Russian cities. That's eye for an eye type of thing. So they really don't worry me that much. Didn't worry when I lived in Russia. When it comes down to exchanging, if it comes down for exchanging nukes, that'd be too late anyway, I don't think it'll happen. Joe's Rames, howdy. Thank you for gifting Inside Russia sponsorship to 5 people from me and from those 5 people. Thank you. Thank you so much. Faith Russert from Spain, howdy. Jeffrey S., how are you at using your left army hand? No speaking, etc. Well, I don't pick nose, usually. I scratch, It's not picking, by definition. My left arm is not as useful as the right arm, but you know what? I'm surviving. Jeffrey S., as usual, with his wonderful advices. It's huge support from Jason Carney. Thank you, Jason. Really glad to see you, and thank you for the support from me and Natasha, and also from Tomasz Miklos. Thank you so much. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate the support. That it's huge, much needed, and so much appreciated. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Jason Carney has also given 5 sponsorships of Inside Russia to 5 people. Thank you, Jason. Thank you. Thank you, friends. Loudmouth Rudy. You got is spot on. Just as during Chernobyl, all downwind should stock up on sodium to take in case reactor content goes to keep thyroid safe. You got it spot on. Just as during Chernobyl, all downwind should stock up on sodium to take in case reactor content goes to keep thyroid safe. You know what, Rudy? I never believed that. If worst comes to worst and the nuclear plant blows up, with all my due respect, sodium or no sodium, I think everyone's going to be done. Plain and simple. I'm pretty sure they were a type of people in the USSR, they were called the liquidators. They were called up, mobilized basically, if it was war. They were mobilized and thrown into Chernobyl to take care of the consequence of that accident event, And I'm pretty sure that they were taking all necessary sodium, all meds, everything. But you know what? Most of them died within very few short years after Chernobyl. Some of them died within months. So all of them got so much of radiation. They died of cancer, they died of different things. So sodium or no sodium, that's not going to be good. SoCal Boho Girl. Hello, Konstantin. Wrap a towel around your arm and body when you sleep so you can rest your shoulder at night. Prayers to your shoulder to heal quickly. I went to a couple pharmacies today to buy this holder or supporter, this thing made out of fabric. You just put it around your neck and then you rest your hand, and they don't have it. Yeah. I really don't know how to wrap a towel around my arm in a way that it'll help. So I wish I knew. Pamela J., feel better. Mouse gently. Mousing hurt shoulder. Ask me. Touchpad is worse. What's mouse? Mouse. I'm asking you right now. Black Cat has just given 5 sponsorship to people. Thank you so much, friend. Thank you. Um, Isa, news about Free Russia Battalion. I don't have any news. Colin W, thanks. Maybe another scenario is that Putin just disappears. There are many scenarios, and that definitely is a possible scenario because, as I usually say, our life is so much deeper, richer, and more colorful than any of our impressions of it. Okay, so things can and will happen. We will see very soon what happens. Um, did you see? Did you take an X-ray? I did not take an X-ray because, well, there's no swelling and it's not broken. I would have felt if it was broken. It's not dislocated. It's fine. Like I can move it easily. It's just one position. It's really painful, and I actually can feel muscle. I can feel muscle when I stretch it. It starts hurting like son of a gun. Sokol Bohel, um, Bohogel, praying for peace every day. I think the elites will start things on Wednesday, U.S. time. Lots of political distractions going on in the States from Southern California. Sending you love from Tashkent, Uzbekistan. Thank you. Wednesday afternoon, so that's going to be Wednesday night going into Thursday. Today is Tuesday. So, well, we'll see. We'll see. It's not too much time left. Um, J. Vix, love from Canada, first time here. Wow, the newcomer. Thank you so much for coming. I hope you stay. Appreciate all your content. For shoulder, try heat and massage muscles around issue area for more blood flow. I'm a healthcare professional. Thank you so much. Are you sure I can try heat now? Shouldn't I wait for a couple days? Jeffrey S. With my new red star, you not only hot dog corn. Oh, that's too Harry Potter. Dan Coldwell, poor in arm. That's okay. I can pour easily with my left arm. That is not a problem. I can pour tea. I can, as it turns out, I can take my shirt off with one hand. Not very convenient, but that's fine. I probably could count money with my left hand as well. Sean, thank you so much. Great to see you, and thanks for 20 gifts of sponsorship to 20 people. Lots of people are going to be happy today. Thank you, Sean. Thank you. Always pleasure to see you. Crusader Damien, we are not worried about number of Russian mobics as there cannot be equipped to fight. What worries us is a nuclear exchange or a nuclear accident. It worries me too. Makes two of us. Yes, it makes two of us. These people are crazy, I'm telling you. They can do anything. Leonard B, thank you so much from Sweden. I appreciate it. Thank you. Riviere 1862, thank you so much. Support, appreciated message. There's no message, but this message is pretty strong. Thank you. Ecoplasma, buy some vodka, also good against pain. Do better. Ibuprofen with vodka? No. With all my due respect, I do not drink vodka. Now I know you will start questioning me right away. Like, what kind of Russian are you? You don't drink vodka? Something's fishy here, okay? I'm sorry. Perhaps I'm not Russian. Perhaps I'm a spy. Perhaps I'm a Martian sent from Mars. pretending to be Russian, but I don't drink vodka. Toxic for me. Ibuprofen is okay. Especially I enjoy American ibuprofen because here in Uzbekistan, you buy ibuprofen, it doesn't work. It's a placebo. Not just ibuprofen, but anything you buy, most likely it's a placebo. But whatever you buy in America actually works. So that's I got a present from my kids not too long ago from Maine. They bought me 2 bottles of ibuprofen. And the thing is, I never ever use painkillers, and now I need them. Gosh. Micah Schultz, thank you so much for giving sponsorship to 5 people. Thank you. Appreciate it. Danke schön. Rocket Ronnie from Liverpool. Thank you so much. Pain, not much, I am sitting here in front of a camera and I'm not moving, or I'm moving my hand forward like this. No pain, very little. But once I move it in the wrong way, then I definitely feel it. But hey, this is not the worst thing can happen to me. Just no big deal. It'll heal. Diana Smith, a very anxious few weeks ahead. So hard for so many people and so very unnecessary. Diana, you're absolutely right. And there will be so many more deaths. That is just. I don't know what to say. Andrew, your Telegram channel misses a lot of new video notifications. Well, are you Andrew, who's doing your own channel of some certain kind? I may be confused about that. Frank in Texas, howdy. Great to see you. There's a question support and a question from Jonathan Ling. Thank you. Will such a scary order as blowing up a nuclear facility be the action that will at last bring disobedience from the common Russian soldier? Unfortunately, I don't think so. Answering your question is no. Crusader Damien with a question again. An anti-inflammatory like Celebrex will help you immensely. It cuts down pain and healing time mightily. Celebrex. Is there Celebrex? Well, thank you, friend. I will put it down, definitely, and I will. Actually, I'll do it now. There you go. Made a print screen. I haven't heard of this drug before, but again, I'm not a big drug user. We'll check it out. Thank you. Angela McNaugh, whereabouts do you think the Ukrainian offensive will come from? It's hard to explain. I think they will try to take Mariupol. They will cut off the land corridor of supply to Crimea. Then there will be a counteroffensive or offensive. I don't know. I hope I don't insult anyone, because in the video I explained why I say offensive instead of counteroffensive. Okay. So I think there will be one offensive / counteroffensive up north, and everything else. Perhaps the entire front line will be offensive. I don't know whether Ukrainians have so much resources for that, so many people. But we will find out very soon. Frederick Gleaton, do you often speak with people in Russia? Every single day. How is the mood there? Go back and watch my video in 2 hours. I did an extensive explanation of how mood of Russian people, both elites and regular people, regular folks. Robert Titus, thank you so much. Livingston Lindsay, thank you, thank you, thank you. Every dollar counts these days. Philip Grin, I have a simple exercise to mend your shoulder in 2 days or less. Whoa, good news. All you need is a small towel to fold into a pad to perform 2 simple exercises. I'll post in the comments later. Thank you, I'll be looking forward to them. Crusader Damien, I don't care where. Okay, fair enough. Uri Kwak, that's kind of what I meant. Russia is on defense right now. Life, you have to be kind against Uzbekistan as you are a guest here, there, here, and that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm very kind to Uzbekistan. And you know what? I don't have a reason not to be kind to this country because I like Uzbekistan. I like Uzbek people. They have their own life, their own political system. They have their own president. But it's up to them to build the life whatever they want. Okay, it's up to them to have any political system they want. I don't want to be Russian anymore to go to other countries and saying, "Hey, you can't do that." You now it's my way or highway. I am a guest here. I'm enjoying what Uzbekistan has to offer for me, and that's it. So you're absolutely right, and I'm doing that. Ferrari guy, if Vaxler is right, then Russia plans to challenge Article 5, but later, then the West can never let Russia return as an economic or tech importer until the problem no longer exists. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Russia plans to challenge Article 5. What is the reason? So, if Russia challenges Article 5, then everyone strikes Russia, and that's not good. Then the West can never let Russia return as an economic or tech importer. I think they will never, or for at least for a long time, will not let Russia return as an economic or tech importer or as more or less a player on the global scene. I think it's done. Russia's not going to return within 50 years or so. Some people say 100, but that's not going to be in our lifetime, so we don't know what's going to happen in 100 years. White Lightning, Ukraine and NATO has better silencers and Generation 4 night vision. The offensive will 99 chances happen at night. Well, I'll tell you what, now Ukraine has everything better, everything. Not just night vision goggles and things like that. I don't know what to tell you. Some Russian soldiers don't even have modern guns to shoot. Great Southern Land, do you think the Western Europe will respond militarily if Russia do something crazy at the nuclear power plant? I don't know. That is the path I don't want to follow, even to analyze and think and forecast. I don't know. that is completely different game changer, for everyone. Let me tell you, if they do that, if they're crazy enough to do that, then well, most likely we'll be blaming everything for Ukrainians. So Ukrainians did that. Oh, the evil Satanists. Amir, howdy howdy, saw an article in which a former KGB spy, Jack Barsky, said that it was possible that a nuke could be accidentally launched due to poor maintenance. Side note, he was my boss for a while and rode in my car. No way. Wow, that's interesting. I hope he's not right. I hope that there will be no accidents, no accidental launches, because I don't really know what to say about that. That's a tragedy. Susie Mailer, can they mobilize you? Well, moreover, I think that I'll be mobilized with like 95% chance. I think that when stinky substance starts hitting the fan, then everyone will be summoned and mobilized. So at least they will try to mobilize every single person. And I think as soon as I don't show up, well, the chances are I will not show up at the mobilization center. And the chances are like 102%, something like that, in that vicinity. So when I don't show up for 20 days according to the new law, they will try to take everything that I own. Okay? Well, good luck with that. If someone calls me up and says, "Hey, Konstantin, would you like to, uh, you know, come and update your information at the mobilization center?" I'll tell them, "You know what? No problem here, but why don't you come to my place? And when is your place?" And say, "Oh, it's in Tashkent, just come over. Can you make it in 15 minutes?" Something like that. I'll troll them like you wouldn't believe. Yuri Bench from Israel, thank you so much. Thank you, my friend. Micah Schultz, you guys are great. You have fantastic advices today. Good tip against annoying shoulder pain. Drop an anvil on your foot. Distracts effectively. And get well soon. Thank you so much. Let's keep this advice theoretical, okay? Vernon showers. You need 2000 ibuprofen. 800. I'm taking 6 to 800, something like that, and 4 Advil. Advil. Anyway, thanks for the advice. I think I'm getting close to the numbers that you posted in ibuprofen. Janice Hendrickson, my daughter is a professional athlete. Dislocated shoulders are a common issue. Remember the rice remedy. Rest, rise, compress, and elevate as best as you can. It's a game changer. Rest, ice, compress, and elevate. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's a very new experience for me. I hope I will not go through it again, but thank you so much. Sumiland, I like your video about Medvedev. Explains how propaganda affects people. Thank you to Palusto. Hello. King Robo 45. What circumstances do you think it would take for Russia to fire nukes? Um, I think there's only one person who can make this decision, and that is Vladimir Putin. And I think it must be absolutely obvious to him that he's done. Done, done, done. His death is knocking on his door. And that would be absolutely the last resort he could do. Well, fortunately, he's not the one pressing the button. I mean, he can press the button, but there's a chain of 7 people from him to a person who launches the nuke. So I hope that people are sane enough to not launch. And I hope he's. Anyway, I don't believe that the nukes will be launched. Ling, thank you so much. Celebrex, again, I've never heard of it here, and I've never heard of it anywhere, actually. David Burgess, do you think they will take Crimea? Well, I can't really tell you how they're gonna take or not take Crimea, but I am sure that one way or another, Crimea will go back to Ukraine. Sam K. Constantine, if you play tennis, it could be tennis elbow. Well, it can't be. It can't be. I just started not too long ago. I used to play tennis a lot when I was fourth, fifth, sixth grade. My parents signed me up for tennis, and I was really good. I liked tennis a lot. The only reason I quit was my eyesight started dropping, and I was too shy. I didn't want to be seen in sunglasses. So I started having problems seeing the ball flying at me. I started missing the ball because I simply could not see it well. It's about eye hand coordination, and when your eyes don't work well, your coordination is off. And then the coach started screaming at me, and then the whole thing was ruined, and just I quit after a while. So my technique in tennis is established. I know where to hit, how to hit the ball so it flies into that exact spot. It's like riding a bicycle, basically. I took a rocket and I know how it feels in my hand. But tennis is 70% movement and 30% technique. So skills. So that 70% is a real problem because of my weight. you know. But tennis I like very much. I hope to lose weight. Please forgive me to playing tennis. So it's not tennis elbow. Just Terry, take your time healing. Thank you so much, friend. Thank you. I think that's it. Scott Nesbitt, do you feel if Russians lose that Putin will still have to go to the international court? The hope for the he's done to Ukraine? No, Scott, I do not believe that Putin will make it to the international court. No one in Russia, his buddies, his inner circle, they will never let him go there. He is gonna go out of the Kremlin with his feet first before he goes to, uh, you know, to the international court. They will need him dead to start blaming him on everything, and it's gonna be a huge blame game. Okay. Nation Demon, thank you so much for giving the gift of sponsorship. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, friend. Richard Montes de Orca. Well, I guess it's time to sing. Nading F, thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate it. Um, Singing time. Richard. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Richard. Happy birthday to you. Have many happy returns of the day. Wishing you all the best and good health, wealth, love, and happiness. So may God always shines his light upon you. Thank goodness I noticed. Okay, folks, time to wrap it up. I would like to close today's stream with a prayer as usual. Thank you for coming. Thank you for giving me a chance. Thank you for being awesome. And let's pray. Hang on 1 second. So you see, it was really hard to extend my hand like this, and because I start moving it backwards, and then I start feeling my shoulder right here. Jason Carney, thank you. I take it you joined me singing happy birthday to Richard. Thank you, Jason. Yeah, let's pray. Let's pray so that God hears our prayers and answers them and fixes things. Dear Lord Jesus Christ, thank you so much for giving us this day. Thank you for putting food on our tables. Thank you for giving roofs over our heads. Thank you for surrounding us with people who we love and who love us. Please give us wisdom to keep skies above our children's heads safe and peaceful, and raise our children in the way that when they grow up, they will make this world a better place, will never fight in wars with each other, in any wars. Please help our children, keep them safe and healthy. Dear Lord, please help stop the bloodshed in Ukraine. Reach out and touch the hearts and souls of people who are responsible in Russia and do something so they wake up from their lethargic sleep, and they will get terrified and they will make decision to stop the bloodshed. Please help every single Ukrainian who has been displaced and affected. Answer their prayers, make their wishes come true. Please send every single Ukrainian angel so the angels keep people out of harm's way. Dear Lord, please help my country. Send the army of your strongest angels with sharpest swords led by Saint Michael so they come down on this earth and get rid of the demons that have hijacked my country. Have angels run Russia. Have angels run it the way that it becomes peaceful, it becomes respected, and neighbors of Russia become feeling safe. Please help those who are traveling. Send them safe travels. Please help those who are seeking for asylum. Send good people and help their way. Help the hungry, the homeless, the jobless, the sick, the depressed, the ones with so low self-esteem. Shine your light upon those people. Surround them with the warmth of your love so they feel better about themselves and about their lives, and they will have another chance for happiness. Dear Lord, please interfere into the situation that is happening in Ukraine right now, so no blood will be shed, as little blood as possible. Don't let people kill other people. Put wisdom into their minds, into their heads. Have them see what's been done, the tragedy that's been done, so they get terrified and just will stop fighting each other. Please give us all peaceful skies above our heads. Please help all the pregnant women who are trying to make a decision whether to keep their children or not. Reach out and talk to them so each one of them makes a right choice. Thank you for allowing us to form this community. Thank you for bringing us all together. Thank you for allowing us to pray together. Please help everyone who's praying along right now or simply watching us pray. Please help everyone in this stream answer all their prayers and make their wishes come true. Please send all people who are not feeling well or sick recovery as soon as possible. Thank you, dear Lord. I also would like to mention a few people who need your help, and they are Larry, Yelena, Natasha, Jake, Michael, Oля, Dasha, Sky, Igor, Bonnie, Galina, Karen, Janine, Michael Milkowitz, Marlene, Paul Binns, Richard, Mallory M., Dirk, Linda, Terry, Lars Henrik's mother, Richard Burris, Angelica at Life, and Scan Family's grandson, Barb, Randolph, Harry's family, Verlinda's niece, Ian James, Priscilla, Michelin, King Nero, Gaby Hyman, Donald, Deborah, Lisa's son, Jade, Kaltenberg, Brittany S., Allison Dave Moyers, Maureen M. and her sister, Mr. Hansen, Matt, Bob, Ashley and family, Mr. Dean Spooner, his church called Savior Lutheran Church, Lisa Kumrian, Jacob, Adam Oliver, Amy, Treasure, Kyle's wife, Maggie, and her sister, Grace Philosophy. Please shine your light upon Grace, her wonderful family, and granddaughters. Vladislav and Sergey, Susie Myler, Gina and Wayfarer, Liz, Lori Miles' husband, Sherry, Layla, Philip's mother, Thomas Fall and his mother, Margaret, Linda Trombley, RT, Rob, Sandra's husband, Greg, Jim and Shirley Hall, Delaney and her 2 children, and Ann Larson, her family and daughter Hannah, Florentina, Carolyn Rydnor, Mag's family, Patty L., CKOC, Sherry Morin, Brian Wilkes, Amir's Uncle Dicky, Liz Dumbrell, Todd, Matthias, Ripted, daughter of Aspen English, Ruth, Paul, Susan, Darla, Bip, Paula McDonald, Rudy Kaisley, Santa's Whiskey, White Lightning, Liz Dumbrell's family, grandparents, George Ruberty, Dave Strains, Pam, Wayne, Shirley and Debbie, Jen Allen, Finola, Amanda Ridenour, Essie from the Scottish Isles, Lazarus, David Porter, his family, and all people from Chernovtsi, Ukraine, Lars, Susan Marshall, Beulah, Boss Simon, Alvin's sister, Teresa D, Garcia Castellanos, Terry Carter, Joe and Lee McMahon, Meta Spencer, Deanna F, Bree's friend, Carolyn, Albina Fell, Michael Yukon, Joel, Live, Karin Vasseur, Pamela J, and Lindsay. Dear Lord, also would like to ask for few special children. They are Sebastian, Maverick, Coulter, Karin Vasseur's niece, Ansley, Theo, Madi. Please help them, send them recovery, and send them good health, and send their families peace of mind and support and help. Also asking for all children that have been affected in Ukraine. Please send them help, surround them with your life and love, and shine your heavenly light upon them, and do so for Russian children who have been affected also. Thank you so much, dear Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. My friends, thank you so much for coming. Thank you for giving me another chance. You're awesome and you rock. It's a pleasure to be here every single day, and it's a pleasure talking to you, sharing my thoughts with you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I will see you tomorrow with another message. And before I go, I would like everyone to say along with me, Carthago delenda est.